My issue I can't really address on a real vague scale. And the purpose for that is because I don't want everyone to assume that all teachers in the Quakertown Community High School and or Quakertown Community Education System are like this. But I have some serious issues that I think each and every individual in this room will say that is quite concerning in regards to some things that are being taught. And based on a petition that I have here, signed by 11 students, which states that there's a specific teacher that pushes his political views in class and gives students who oppose him a hard time. So with that being said, please understand, I will be respectful as your time as I possibly can. I will be as quick as I can, but I'm going to follow this letter so that I can stay on point and be as specific with the issues as possible. Now, as a parent of a Quakertown High School senior, I recognize the responsibility of the school board to provide a quality education for Quakertown students, as well as to promote respect between staff and students. As I am sure you would agree, our public school students not only deserve the best factual content in each of these courses, but also the opportunity to freely discuss opinions related to course content in a respectful environment. Unfortunately, my daughter's 11th grade health teacher, who I will not mention, uses his health class to both promote his own personal political viewpoints and also to disrespect the political and religious beliefs of certain students whose views differ from his. Now, last year, my daughter's class, this said teacher presented his personal opinion as factual on the following political topics, which, as you can see, are completely unrelated to the health curriculum. His statements recorded by my daughter are as follows. Why are we following a constitution that was drawn up 400 years ago by a bunch of rich old white guys? The Second Amendment has no place in today's society. Societies are always safer when the citizens do not have the right to bear arms. Socialized medicine provides better care for people. America just hasn't caught on yet. People are worried about how we're going to pay for the health care bill. We're just going to tax the rich. They don't need that money anyhow. Doctors are in the business for keeping you sick. That's how they make their money. How are students receiving a quality education in health when time is taken from instruction in health-related topics to discuss current political issues? Why is a public school teacher allowed to present his personal opinions on controversial issues as a one-sided statement of fact? Although this said teacher allowed for discussions on these topics, a number of students feel that this said teacher pushes his views in class and gives students who oppose him a hard time, from the petition signed by 11 students so far. When this teacher was confronted with concerns that the teaching was entirely one-sided on such issues, he stated, "I cannot find any information to present the other side. If you can, please feel free to bring it in." Aside from placing on the students his responsibility to present a well-rounded view of these topics, this teacher was evidently not sincere in desiring input from an opposing viewpoint. But he did nothing to facilitate our offer to bring a well-rounded speaker who would afford the students the opportunity to hear the different opinion. This year, my daughter's boyfriend's health class, this teacher has openly shown a lack of respect of some students' political and religious views. According to students in his first semester 11th grade class, he wore a t-shirt in class which proclaimed Jesus is a liberal, and expressed a disappointment that a particular student, the openly Christian student from whom he wore the t-shirt for, was absent that day. The next day, when the student returned to class, the teacher informed him in front of other students with the t-shirt in hand, asking, "What do you think of this?" When my daughter's boyfriend...
Mr. Rickenbaugh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, we're halfway there.
I've given you 5 minutes so far, okay?
I understand.
3 minutes is normal procedure.
I appreciate the courtesy,
I gave you
sir.
5 minutes. I think we we've got a good understanding here of what's happening.
Sir, the best is yet to come, I promise you.
I understand that. I have to be fair to everyone. I've given you 5 minutes, which we don't normally only give 3. If the board wants you to continue, we'll.
I think everybody here wants to give him the time, and this is the public's time, so let the man talk.
Yeah, let the man talk.
I'm sorry, this is a board function, please.
I would like to ask the board a question, if I may. And that is, no questions for the board, I understand. My question is...
We have your letter, we have it right here in front of us. We are going to read the whole thing for you. If you want to come and speak again, and we get the idea here, what's happening. And let me ask you a question. Have you taken this up with the principal?
Gets to it on the next page, so I'll go on.
Okay.
Now, when my daughter's boyfriend counted that,
You do not run this meeting, okay?
I understand that,
I run
sir.
this meeting.
I understand that,
You don't
sir.
just get to stand there and talk.
Sir, I understand that.
If you'd like to talk with me privately afterwards, I will gladly listen to everything you have to say, okay?
Sir,
Come talk to me afterwards, and
That's fine.
You can talk to me all you want, and I'll hear everything you have to say. And I'll spend as much time as you need, okay?
Mr. Wackerman,
Talk to me.
Mr. Wackerman, I will take you up on that, but I want you to explain that this is going on over 2 years, sir.
Okay,
I've continuously being asked to sit down, and because of this experience, I just want to tell you that I now understand why our founding fathers made it our First Amendment right in the Bill of Rights for liberty of free speech.
You have free speech.
Well, thank you for that, then I'll continue.
3 minutes worth, sir.
All right, thank you.
Come on.
Does anybody,
You're going to waste
How
3
many
minutes
people-
listening to people.
if we don't,
What is the point of not letting him speak when everybody wants this addressed?
I want to hear
I don't
it.
understand. We all have 3 minutes?
For the teacher, let him.
The teacher.
We all have 3 minutes, we give them all to him.
Somebody's
Time
going to have
out.
to read the
Let's have
second
it.
page.
Yeah, you better.
Damn right.
You have to read the second page.
You know what? Why don't we continue reading the letter by part? Each one of us take our 5 minutes to finish the letter.
There you go. They're having a...
Right? I'll take the next 5 minutes. and finish reading the other 5 minutes.
A friend who has a son in his class. He likes the expression teabag, which I wouldn't talk about because I've been making fun of it.
I want to hear what he has to say. I'm not here from Quakertown. It's not right.
To fill I want to know what can be done when it's obvious that there's a problem teacher. It seems like
that is, okay, I'm going to poll the board. Continue or not? Mr. Smith?
I say pass it to a friend.
Okay.
Let somebody else finish reading the letter so that we can follow procedure and your goal can be met.
I thank you for that, ma'am, that seems reasonable.
All
Thank
right,
you.
fine. Go ahead. do
It's
that.
ridiculous.
Sir, if you could also give us your name and where you're from, please.
My name is Jim Carroll, and I'm from Milford.
I'm sorry?
Milford?
Milford Township.
Yep. According to students in his first semester 11th grade class, the said teacher wore a t-shirt in class which proclaimed Jesus was a liberal. Has expressed his disappointment that the particular student, the openly Christian student for whom he wore the shirt, was absent that day. The next day when the student returned to class, the teacher confronted him in front of other students with the t-shirt in hand, asking, "What do you think about this?" When my daughter's boyfriend countered that Jesus was not a liberal, the said teacher, knowing that my daughter is a Tea Party supporter, retorted, "At least he wasn't a gun-slinging teabagger." Politics, religions, and beliefs aside, is there any place in a public school for a teacher to use such vulgar sexual innuendo in any context, much less to refer to a political movement some students and their parents are involved in? When my daughter confronted the said teacher about his use of this inappropriate term, Far from apologizing for his insulting reference, he excused his use of the term, saying, "Well, ever since I heard the media use teabag, oops, I almost slipped again," and giggled in her face. At another time, he told both my daughter's class and me that any slips I make in class are due to my bipolar condition. Is this an example of taking personal responsibility for one's mistakes that our teachers should be set before their students? Is this showing respect for the beliefs of our students and their parents? Some of the said teacher's students this year were particularly offended by his showing and discussion of a letter to a radio talk show host entitled, "Why Can't I Own a Canadian?" That satire on Old Testament law blatantly misinterprets and mocks biblical teachings, concluding sarcastically, "Thank you again for reminding us that God's word is eternal and unchanging." Said teacher added his denigrating question, "Now I ask you, is this a book we should be following as a society? Does this board condone this type of open attack by a teacher on the beliefs of all of his Jewish and Christian students who believe the Bible to be a reliable guide for life, and as many believe the Word of God? As a parent who desires a quality education for my daughter and other students and expects them to both give respect and be treated with respect, I was concerned about said teacher's misuse of health class to discuss political issues, his presentation on his personal opinion as fact on controversial topics, his disrespect of some students' political and religious beliefs, and his failure to apologize for the use of an insulting and highly inappropriate sexual term before students. For the last 2 years, I have tried to address these concerns by following your chain of command to no avail, asking for an evaluation of the appropriateness of said teacher's choice of content for his health classes, for an opportunity to bring in a qualified educator to provide a balanced perspective on controversial issues, and for an apology for inappropriate and insulting comments, behavior, and class material. Discussions with this teacher produced no change whatsoever in his approach. This year, my expression of concerns resulted in mocking comment as he pointed me to the principal's office, "Go have fun." Last year, although the principal of the school stated in an initial call that I should be able to walk into any class and have no idea where a teacher lies politically, subsequent calls to set up a balanced discussion of these issues went unanswered. After I appealed to the superintendent, the principal did call to inform me that the board would have to make that decision. Following my presentation of my concerns to the board, the superintendent berated me, stating, "I am very displeased with your decision to bring this issue to this level. Your issues have been addressed," and redirected me to the teacher. My repeated efforts to contact the teacher and the principal were unsuccessful. When I tried to address this matter to the school board a second time, I was immediately interrupted and told to sit down. At that time, I was told to put my concerns in writing, which I am now doing. Is this board of our representatives elected to run the school district not the most appropriate place for a parent to present concerns about problems in the classroom that neither teacher nor administration will resolve? Is this board going to condone this teacher's inappropriate course material, irresponsible speech, and disrespectful treatment of students' beliefs, and by doing nothing to correct the situation? Evidently, said teacher has no fear that he will be addressed about his methods and behavior when my daughter stated to him, "What's really sad is if a conservative teacher pushed his opinions as much as you do, he'd be fired. But you, they do nothing." Said teacher responded with a grin, "Nope. I invite your comments and suggestions for a resolution to this problem. I will be attending the upcoming board meeting along with other concerned parents and taxpayers and expect to be heard by the board. Please provide me the time to discuss these concerns. Sincerely, Glenn Rickabaugh, concerned parent and taxpayer."
Thank you.
And I thank you very much. And I thank the people of the community very much.